Hey guys, welcome to the Moureen Gitau channel where we talk about society, life, and faith. And today I'm so excited because I met a really awesome guy. He's going to introduce himself to us, and we're going to talk a little bit about film and maybe your childhood and how is life in your country. Yeah, so please start with the introduction.
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
So means like, hey guys in Portuguese.
Okay.
So I'm LK from Brazil. My full name is Lincoln Pèricles, but only my mom calls me that when she's angry. Mm-hmm. So my friends in the hood, they call me LK.
Okay.
I'm a filmmaker from Brazil. I live in a favela called Capão Redondo, who is in the south side of São Paulo, and I lived there for 35 years, and I work with cinema, and since like I was like a teenager.
Oh, nice. I think what has struck me the most about your story is how similar the life there is with the life that we have here, especially in Dandora. You can just take us through how life was when you were a child and how life is generally in Brazil.
First of all, I'm so happy and so honored to connect with you guys here in Dandora, because for me, like, my main goal in life is like to share my art and to receive the art and the knowledge of the people from the slums, the people from the working class. So for me, like, I always say that I'm a survivor, because I had a lot of friends who died in the hood. Like, if I think like 5 childhood friends, like close friends, 2 are on jail and 1 is dead. So I consider myself a survivor, and since the first time that I was here in Kenya, I produced a film together with Tony DeGuise from Atari, and now I'm here in Dandora, and I see that we face the same challenge, and a lot of similarities between the stories and the same struggle, but at the same time we have the same power, we have the same goal to do our art, to change our reality, to unite with the people. And for me, it's so important to build collective knowledge and to build collective and international solidarity. So I'm very glad to put my foot here in Dandora and to meet you guys too.
I think to me, LK, what I can ask is, how important is it for you to use film to educate people about their rights and also the power that they have?
No, for me, like, filmmaking was never a matter of just entertainment, because since I started to do film, I realized that people who oftenly do films on my country was not people like me. You were only rich people, white people who do cinema, looking to my people in a different perspective, a very elitist perspective. So when I started to do film, I started to do films from my own community. So to have an experience with the community and learn something between the films. And I've been doing this for 15 years, and of course our films, like, when they are in the world, they are almost like a child in the world. So my film was screening all over the world, but we always screen first on our community, The film that we just watched here on the community center, the first time that they were screening was in the school of the protagonists, the kids. And the kids in the school started to write a book about the history of our neighborhood, the story of our neighborhood, because they saw those films. So it's important not just for people know the rights, but to people feel themselves feel themselves part of the world, Because sometimes I feel like our people, when we are misrepresented, we feel like we are not part of this world. And when we join together with our community, we feel part of this world, and we feel part of the collective struggle.
We're gonna start the film. So
maybe the last question I can ask: do you guys face backlash from the community, the same communities that you're trying to fight for? Do you face that in your activism?
Backlash, you say?
where you
Yeah.
find that the community that you're fighting for, first,
Uh-huh.
like, if you're talking about activism,
Mhm.
you're trying to advocate for the rights of the people that
Mhm.
are living
Mhm.
in your community. But
Mhm.
most of the time, you find that whatever you do, it's not so popular and it's not
Mhm.
received so well
Uh-huh.
with the same people you're fighting for.
Mhm.
How is that? How is it for
Yeah.
you?
No, for me, it's like a yes and no questions because uh, people are complex. We have a rap song in the hood who says "Cada favelado é um universo em crise," who means each one from the slums is a universe in crisis. So we need to be careful to deal with this universe in crisis. We are a universe in crisis
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
So I think we're never like reaching like 100% of the population, especially if you are working with social justice, with community meetings, because when we are fighting for community justice, we are.
Sorry, just everybody's waiting in there.
I think you can screen like we just finished here, then I start work. I totally lose my. Okay, let's start again. Yeah, so if I face backlash or not, like, is a yes and no answer because I feel like it is impossible to reach like 100% of the population from our neighborhoods. And at the same time, we live in this capitalist world that the message was spreaded for our people is like money, buy,
Yeah.
consume, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And when you bring something who's not about that, about consumism, about capitalism, always people will be like, okay, but this is strange. But I feel like every one of us in the hood, we need public service, we need public justice, we need things who are very basic for our people. So I always say that if we have a right way, a way that cares about people to talk and to bring to our movements, it's very possible to everyone to understand what we are fighting for, especially if you are from the territory. For me, it's the same importance. When I say, I told you guys that I'm putting my foot here in Dandora,
Yeah.
I need to put my foot with respect for your people, for the people from Dandora, because it's the people from Dandora who decide their future, you know?
Yeah,
It's not me. Maybe I can learn, maybe I can exchange experience. So I think each one of us knows that we need to come together to reach a different goal, who is not the goal or the things who are put for our people. So it's just a matter of taking care of the people. They know that you are from the territory. They know that you produce for the territory. So I think it's just a matter of if we wanted to achieve like 100% of our people, we need to take care of our people, you know. And it doesn't matter. You can call like any names this type of work, but at the end you need to care for your people. You need to be one of the people and not like live and be and achieve a different life, you know.
And also maybe the last thing,
The last thing.
the last thing, I'll give it the last. The issue about police brutality. This is the most pressing issue that you're facing here right now in Kenya, and I believe you've also faced the same issue. In your case, how are you able to handle it, or with your community now? How are you able to fight police brutality and police abuse of power? Yeah.
First of all, like I stand in solidarity for you guys and for the Kenyan people because always when I talk about tragic, about people who were killed by the force of the state, we always need to remember that these people has names, these people has family, these people are the same people that are on our photos on our phones, that are on our portraits, you know. So I stand in solidarity. I know how to feel. How is the feeling, and as we say in the hood, like our dead ones have voices.
Yeah.
So we are the voices of the people who left this material world. So yeah, like since I was a kid, I faced police brutality. My neighborhood, Capão Redondo, was considered one of the most dangerous places in the world. So I grew up reading this, and I didn't put like on my CV, for instance, like that I live on Capão Redondo because people will not hire me. So I always, when I was a kid, a teenager, I was hustling, like I was going to criminality, but I used to have a shame to live in the favela, you know?
This is very it's very similar to what you're facing here in Dandora, because a lot of times when you're writing your CV, you try to not mention that part that you're from Dandora, because when you go to the interviews, people think this is a criminal, you know, and you'll be handled differently from the others. So that is very
you know, I think, sister, one thing that is important for us to have our own images and to have our own films or arts is to change this perspective. Because now I'm proud. I say all the time that I'm from Capão Redondo. I'm proud from be the favela, in the favela, you know. So we change the narrative when we start to talk about what is happening that we don't accept anymore, like police brutality, you know, like Kenyan people are doing right now in this moment. So when we face and when we build collective struggle, we start to be proud of ourselves. So now I always say, like for 15 years, I always introduce myself like I introduced to you. I'm from Capão Redondo, a favela in Brazil. Shout out to my guys in Capão Redondo. Salve, salve aí, meus parceiros, é nóis. And so it's just a perspective that we change, you know? And of course, like police brutality, in this capitalist world, you know, when we it still reproduce colonial narratives, colonial laws, the police, the state, who has the power, will have the power to kill and to do the law by themselves, by their own hands, you know? So we face the same problems in Brazil, and how I deal with this, I will be very, very honest with you. Like, I deal with my people, being together. I can live alone, because if I'm not, like, with people who share the same experience than me, I can survive. Like, like two years ago, I started to do therapy, because I didn't know that therapy exists, but it was a community center who told me like that therapy is a thing. And I discovered in therapy that I have all the traumas that people who live in war zones have. And we don't see this. We don't discuss like our mental health. Exactly.
It's so similar to what is happening here.
Exactly.
Because the men here, especially the men, because at least for us ladies, it's so easy, you know, to let out our feminine energy. But for men, it's so hard, even right now, to talk about your mental health, to even admit that they're depressed, you know, because it is viewed as weakness. And no,
especially in the hood, like we are built to be strong, to be like a macho, like to be a man. So it's very warming for me to have a safe space to cry together, to cry for the death of someone, for the family, because we are not building for this, you know. As you say, like as men in the hood, we always grow up like hearing that no, this is a weak people who cry. You know, maybe what? Yeah, imagine, you know, and and I think a way to deal with this is like to be together, to search for mental health, for social justice. Because I always like to say that when we think social justice, we think about our mental health too. You know, we think about dealing together with a problem that it's not just my problem. If I face police brutality, it's not just my problem. It's a problem of the society. So when we look for social justice, we are doing like almost group therapy, because we learn how to not just survive, but to live as a whole human being, not just a piece, because they want us to be just a piece, and we are a whole human being.
I think the way that they're able to divide us is by telling us how different we are, how we need to, you know, to not be together because we are different. And I think I really love your story, and I would really love us to continue, but there's not much time. You need it back there.
I need to go back, and I need to go back to Brazil, but shout out to my guys in Dandora, and I'm here, like, e falando também pro meu povo da minha quebrada, aqui no Quênia, a galera tá correndo, tá fazendo o corre igual a gente, tá ligado? Estão fazendo cinema também, então a gente tem que unir essa solidariedade internacional. I'm just saying, like, to my guys in the hood, that we need to have like international solidarity, you know, like between filmmakers, between artists, and as we say in the hood, é tudo nosso. We say it's all yours. It's all ours.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.